Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to Gran Turismo 7, where we're going to be jumping in for a daily race B today. We're going to be at Trail Mountain Circuit, of course, and we're going to be in Group 4. Now, a lot of people were not aware that they actually changed the BOP during the latest update. So as you can see, during this one, we are in Group 4, but there seems to be no four-wheel drives. Apart from us, of course, we are using our Genesis G70. Of course, we did choose a Genesis for our manufacturer's series. I did do a video on why I chose a Genesis, so if you haven't checked it out already, do be sure to check that one out after this one. So we are going to be in the only four-wheel drive in this one. It does seem to be like, since the update, the change of BOP or BOP, balance of power, balance of performance, whichever one you want to call it, we do have what it appears to be a new meta car. So the Audi TT has come to the forefront for this particular race. We'll have to see next week whether it is going to just be the most dominant car in Group 4 now. We do have a couple of Mustangs in here as well, keeping pace. We are, of course, in the Genesis G70. So there does seem to be a greater balance as we are not being dropped here from the TT. We are holding our own, coming through this long sweeping corner into the fastest part of the circuit, the long straights. Very long in Group 4. As we get a good run because Skullbone went into the wall. So we're going to gain one position up into 4th already. So not a bad return here. We're going to go defensive. We also want to give slipstream to the German so that he can battle back. Keeping it defensive here as the Mustang goes into the wall. German gets a good run and is actually going to try and get alongside coming into this difficult section here. Round the corner, go down into second gear. We go a little bit wide here, so we're going to have to go defensive once again. I thought that they were too far back as we get a little bit of drift here, making use of our four-wheel drive antics into the last chicane. Very difficult to get it right. I think I was braking a little bit too early, however I was braking a little bit too late that time around. Onto the main straight now, and we're going to get overtaken by Skullbone. So we let the German through, we go into his slipstream. Moving on a lap later here, coming down the hill, we're going to make a massive error as we don't get the rotation we needed. We're going to go into the barrier on the outside there. We're going to lose a position here to Budweiser. So we're not going to fight it, we're just going to let him through, try and hold on into his slipstream down this long straight so that we don't lose too many more positions. So we started this one in P7, we're up into P6. We were in P4 at one point, but still I don't think it's too bad of a result. Of course, the Genesis G70 was also quite badly nerfed. Given it is four-wheel drive, they really did it dirty. However, we do get a massive run here on Budweiser. So we're going to go through the inside here, through the tunnel. Making sure we get it stopped quite early for this really tricky right-hander. I'm going to fast forward now to the end of the race where we pretty much stayed the same. We were not able to catch P4. We did drop P6, so we're going to come home in a P5, so gained 2 positions on our first race, not too bad at all. But we're going to go into race number 2, and this time we're going to give the Audi TT a try. Now it was a bit of a higher lobby in this one, so we are starting down in P9, even though we managed to set a faster qualifying time. They're coming into turn number 1. Quite a scary corner. Even in Group 4, you have to be pretty much flat in Group 4 cars all the way through this corner, making sure you nail it to perfection, which we didn't, and we're going to lose a position to the Frenchman, or the Italian should I say. The Frenchman also trying to look for a way past. Not going to work for this one though, as we get a good run here on the Italian. However, we're not able to make the move. So we're just going to have to sit behind here as the Frenchman looks for a way around the inside. That's going to be the outside though for this corner, so he backs out and tries to get the cutback. Now we make our way all the way up this very long back straight, up the hill, through the tunnel. Really is a beautiful track. I really do like Trail Mountain. Coming out into the braking zone, braking just around that yellow sign. That seems to be my brake marker for all cars. Now we do get a good run up the hill against the Italian here, but he's going to put me into the wall. Just didn't think he was quite aware that we was alongside there. That's going to cause all kinds of carnage as we get a bump from behind. That's going to give us rear bumper damage, but that is going to give us the opportunity that we need to escape that little pack. Try and make our way up into the next pack. We have, of course, Meghan Markle, the princess herself, representing the TT. Trying to get a good run out of this final chicane here. Very difficult chicane to get right. Coming now to start lap number 2. We're going to fast forward to the start of lap number 3, where we did manage to catch up with this group who were battling incredibly hard. The Mustang getting it all kinds of wrong. There's lots of contact. We get the run, but I did feel like the door was going to be closed in our face. So we're going to back out, fight another day. Still more contact coming through this very slow section. Of course, we are all in the same car now. Everyone here is in a TT. As we get put into the wall here again by a different German this time. And that's going to make me lose out coming up this hill. We are still about in the slipstream, so we do begin to gain coming up to the crest of the hill. Now they're going to go side by side once again. We're just trying to make sure we hit our brake markers, get a good run coming out of the corner, which we do here. We have pulled the gap down to about 0.3 seconds. Now we do have the German with a 0.5 second penalty, so we should be able to both get past him before turn 1, assuming we don't make any big mistakes coming through this last chicane. I pull out here just to put the Brit off. However, we do brake way too early there for that chicane, so we're going to lose a massive amount of time. But luckily we are still in that slipstream, so we do manage to pull back up to the back of the Brit. We're going to also gain a position from the German, serving his penalty. Looking to get past before the turn in to turn 1. And the German thinks better of it as he backs completely out. The Brit there getting a 0.5 second penalty for just cutting the chicane a tiny bit. Also gets a massive incident on the exit. That's going to put us right onto the back. So now we just need to keep it nice and clean and tidy. We should be able to gain that position on the start finish straight, if not before. We do also have this very long straight coming up where we will be in slipstream range. However, we just make a bit of a mistake here, going a little bit too understeery into the wall. We didn't make contact with the wall, but we did lose a massive amount of time and speed. So now instead of attacking down this long straight, we are going to have to be defending against the German, who's going to go for the move by the looks of it. We're just trying to brake a little bit later. There was a little bit of a twitch there on the brakes, which put the German off from making the move. However, he does get the better exit, and we're going to go side by side all the way up the hill. Luckily, he does back out at the last minute, but all this battling is just meaning the Brit up ahead is going to run away. The gap to the Brit up ahead already to 1 second after we were right behind them. Now I knew the German was going to go for this move and I couldn't be bothered to fight it. Let's just settle for the 1 position from the Brit. As we come over the start finish straight, right behind the German here. The Brit 7 his penalty and we are going to gain that position. So we went up another 2 positions in this race. Of course it is only race B, so there isn't a lot of time to make any moves. But that is going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Take care and I'll catch you later. Bye.